Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a conversation about the mundane, the ordinary, things that sort of come up. We endeavor to make sure that our conversation is less than fascinating so that you can just drift off. Maybe you just sort of relax. Maybe you find it interesting, but not so interesting that you won't fall into a relaxed state. Thank you for listening to us. We hope you will listen and sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm your co-host, Nidhi Khanna.
Nidhi, I think you and I talked about how our names are often
Butchered,
misspelled, and whatnot. What's your favorite Starbucks name that someone's written on a Starbucks drink?
Oh, that is a great question, Marco. You know, the thing is, and I think we talked about this
I'm
before.
sure we did, yeah.
I usually give a different name.
Oh, that's right.
How about you? I can't remember what
Markle
yours...
is what I get,
Oh,
like
Markle.
Sparkle, but I get Markle.
Is that a name, Markle?
No, but it sounds like a pretty cool
It's
name.
a strong name. Marco, do you use a lot of electronics?
I'm not like one of these people who's like really gadget oriented, but I do have electronics that I use.
Would you consider yourself like an early adopter? Or because I usually, quite honestly,
Sure.
will only buy like a fad gadget like once everyone else has bought it.
Okay.
And I'm a laggard. I'm the last one to get on the train in terms of buying something electronically inclined.
What was the last electronic thing you bought?
Probably, I mean, my iPhone.
Okay.
You know, like in terms of a big electronic thing, you know, like for example, my Apple TV was gifted to me.
Oh, cool.
I don't have an iPad.
Right.
I've had the same MacBook miraculously for about 9 years. So I'm pretty comfortable with keeping my electronics stable.
Sure.
However, I'm sure there's a whole slew of things that I miss out on because of that. I think it's time for me to get an iPad. I think
Okay.
that's my next electronic thing.
Your next purchase.
Yeah, I think so.
We bought a camera for a course we were taking, so a DSLR camera was our last sort of big electronic purchase.
Sure.
And you know, I'm still trying to figure out the camera. Like, there's still things that I'm not 100% sure about. But, and you know when you use something, so here's my thing, Nidhi. It's like, I'll get one of these electronic devices, and then I'll think I'm learning it, and then I'll do something that just kind of messes it up, and I don't know how to undo it. And it happens with the computer as well. And like, for example, this happened to me, and I just fixed it. You know when you go onto a website or something, and it's like, do you want to change your web browser to this instead of Google or Yahoo? I stupidly pressed yes, and then I had this web browser that I detested that was on my computer, and it was like, how do I get this off? And then finally I wrote, I have this, and I named the web browser, which I will not name here because they were made me so frustrated. How do I remove it? And you know, you'll get a list of people who have the same sort of complaint. So I often sort of throw my hands in the air with aspects of electronics like that, where it's like, oh, it's a little beyond my scope. But I do love that you can go onto YouTube and see videos on how to solve problems.
Well, now, do you remember when we started the Insomnia Project? We used a lot of those YouTube videos to try and figure out our own electronic components. So I guess this microphone is also another piece of equipment.
Oh, yeah, I never thought of that.
That we have relatively recently purchased, I guess. But yeah, we were just talking about that actually, about learning I guess that was more of a software learning, but we did have to learn about like the audio hookups and things like that for this microphone. So YouTube did help all,
Sure.
all those moments. Now we have it down pat.
Mm-hmm.
Our listeners should actually just see Marco. It's like, press the button now.
Well, it's certainly over the time you sort of pick up shortcuts and you learn things, and you know, I tend to be, my family tends to be the type of family who will buy sort of fad items that Amanda's
Oh,
always,
really?
yeah, she'll shake her head and she's like, why do you guys have
Like what?
you know, the blue light for the winter that you turn on and you kind of,
And it makes like plants grow or whatever?
it's supposed to be good for your mood or whatever. We have one of those things.
Does it work?
I don't know. I mean, what the problem is, we buy them, we use them for a month, and then it's like,
Oh, this doesn't work.
no, it's like kind of like we forget about it or we don't use it.
Right.
I have like a foot massager thing that you put, like it needs your feet,
Yeah.
and it's right by the couch. And one time I was like using it every day. I love this and whatnot. And it needs the bottom of your, and now it's like, oh yeah, that thing.
So does your family, like when they see infomercials late at night, do they get into those infomercial products? Because some people are very addicted to buying like those, whatever is being
Yeah,
sold
sure, like
infomercial wise.
Ginsu knives and things like that, right? Sure,
exactly.
sure. No, I don't think we're that, but I will watch the shopping channel and things like that to, you
See
know,
what's out there?
Yeah, see what they're hawking and stuff, and sometimes that really relaxes me because they'll be talking about, like, I remember I bought like goat milk soap that I saw on one of these. They were talking about this goat milk soap and how it's all natural and the goats live on a farm where they're happy and it's double milled and it's this and it's that scent and whatnot, and it's like, today it's on sale for such a price. So I bought goat milk soap. It was great, but do I really need goat milk soap? Probably not. But yeah, that's one of the things that I sometimes tune into. How about you?
I've never really tuned into the shopping channel.
Okay.
But I've always wanted to be one of those people who purchases the infomercial stuff.
Sure.
Because I'm always really like, oh, that looks cool. But I never do it. I'm very risk adverse that way. But I'll do, I mean, I guess my splurge items are usually, I have to hold something. Like I have to tangibly be able to like touch and feel it and see it. And then I can be very easily sold. But it's really funny how, like, you know, I'll hum and haw over like a $10 purchase, but
Sure.
like a mattress that costs hundreds of dollars, I'll be like, great, done, take it.
Done.
Or a piece of furniture or something like that, I'll be like, great, pack it up.
Hilarious.
But so I don't know how wise that is, but that's
What
the way
about, do you appreciate when people buy you things that you wouldn't necessarily buy yourself?
Yes, absolutely.
I just got a membership to the Ontario Art Gallery, so I'm a full member. So I don't have to pay for a ticket. And I just went the other day to the art gallery to activate my membership.
Wonderful.
And check out the art gallery. And it was, you know, it really was a lot of fun. I've never been to an art gallery by myself, at least not in my own city. Maybe when I've been traveling, but just exploring the art. And there was a exhibit on landscapes. And so all the art had different, it was interesting because different masters painting, whether it was in France or in Holland or in Italy or in Sweden, I was seeing all these different landscapes that they were painting that were beautiful. Now the interesting thing, Nidhi, is they had a Van Gogh. And so there was throngs of people in front of this Van Gogh, which was fantastic, you know, as were the Monets, as you would expect them to be. But there was very few people around the A.Y. Jackson and the Lauren Harris, who happened to be my favorite artists. And so I got to really enjoy their work. While everybody flocked to the Van Gogh, I was like, I'm happy to sit here in front of the A.Y. Jackson and the Lauren Harris and really just enjoy it. I'll let it tickle my eyes kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Who's your favorite artist?
Good question. I like, honestly, when it comes to visual arts, I don't have a particular favorite. Like,
Okay.
I enjoy going to museums
Sure.
and seeing it, but I can't say that I gravitate to one particular style
Okay.
or one particular artist. I'm not like, it's funny you ask that, because it's like I'm not someone who has a favorite something
Okay.
in a lot of things.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I don't really have a favorite musician or a favorite book.
Okay.
Like, I have a favorite type. Like, I enjoy mystery novels.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah.
So, like, do you like Dan Brown's kind of Da Vinci Code, or do you like Agatha Christie, or do you like?
I like all of those.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do like the spectrum of, like, I like I'm currently reading Robert Galbraith, which is actually J.K. Rowling's pen name for her mystery writing.
Really? Mm-hmm. See, I love J.K. Rowling.
Oh yeah, I do too.
So,
like, I guess Harry Potter would be probably my favorite book series.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't have a favorite movie.
So wait a minute, let's get back to J.K. Rowling.
Sure.
So she writes under a pen name or a pseudonym, and what is it?
Robert Galbraith.
Okay.
I'll lend you the book.
Okay.
So it's interesting because it's very different from her Harry Potter writing.
Sure,
right?
of course. But is her style present? Because, like, there's something about her as a writer that I really enjoy. I don't know if it's the way she describes characters or just the way she sets things up, these worlds up.
So I think that's exactly it. Like, there's definitely still the character-driven writing, and she does take the time to describe things that in mystery writing, I find that you have two types of novelists, I guess. Not two types, but you have novels that are, or mystery novels that are written that are very descriptive and very, well, I guess character-driven,
Sure.
story-driven, and then others that are, character-driven versus story-driven. So you have others where it's like very brief descriptions or arcs for the characters,
Sure.
and more about the fast-paced storyline. So,
Okay.
you know, like Dan Brown is really all about the story.
Okay,
Like the Da Vinci
right,
Code is really
right.
all about the story rather
Not so
than
much about...
the journey of the
Right.
characters, right?
Right.
So I find it interesting to kind of read the spectrum, because I find mystery novels, you know, you can kind of have a really easy read, and then you
Right.
can have ones that are more elaborate.
So do you like Sherlock Holmes, for example?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Love it.
Really? Arthur Conan Doyle? Mm-hmm. I've never read a Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
Yeah. What are they like? Like, what is it about them?
I have a compilation. I'll send it to you.
I won't read them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're short stories, though.
Oh, is that what they are?
Like,
Short
they're
stories?
not, because they all got published in the newspaper, right? Sherlock
Right.
Holmes wasn't written as a novel. It was written as a series of newspaper vignettes, I guess. And
So
they're-
what is it about Sherlock Holmes
I think
that people really gravitated towards?
so. I think, I mean, for me,
Yeah, for you, sure.
So from a story perspective, I find Sherlock Holmes is sort of interesting because as the reader, you will never figure it out.
Okay, you
Right?
just won't.
Because you won't, because it's always something very ingenious.
Right.
And so the character has more intelligence than I do. You know what I mean? In terms of I'm never going to figure out the calendar. You know how, like, sometimes you'll read a book and you're like, I know what's going to happen
Sure.
next. So I find with Sherlock Holmes, I don't have that feeling. I'm always very intrigued to know, like, where is this going?
Right.
And I think from a character standpoint, like, they're beloved characters, right? Because he is complicated and flawed, right? Sherlock Holmes is also a drug user, and
And they explore that in the book?
well, so in the book they do reference, like, his Victorian English, like, cocaine habit.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a well-known part of the character. So
See,
every Sherlock Holmes that you will see so whether it's the Robert Downey Jr. one,
Right.
or the Sherlock, the British series,
Mm-hmm.
or they always reference, like, his drug use,
Okay.
or either very overtly or not.
Right.
Or even things with like Professor Moriarty, you know, and him having to, and Sherlock Holmes kind of meeting his match and stuff like that. I like the fact that it's built on the premise of like deduction and intelligence and all of that. Whereas there's some mystery novels that are purely like the main character is like more of a hero and more of an action type figure.
Like a James Bond.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
or no.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, James Bond is not really mystery,
Right,
but yes. But like, yes. Yeah.
Thank you for calling the Bombas Comfort Line. Bombas make socks, slippers, tees, and underwear made with the highest quality materials. Press 1 for comfort, 2 for style, 3 for donation. You chose style. Bombas has styles for whatever you enjoy. You can run in Bombas, lounge in Bombas, dress them up, dress them down, but always give back in Bombas. Because with every item purchased, another is donated. Bombas, comfort worth calling for. Go to bombas.com/audio and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO.
Taste the Mediterranean at Whole Foods Market with a vibrant selection that captures the flavors of the region. Shop coastal favorites like responsibly farmed whole bronzini and jumbo white shrimp, and pair them with specialty pastas, robust olive oils, and aromatic sauces directly sourced from the Mediterranean. Want a fast and easy dinner? Grab refreshing Greek salads and tortellini from the prepared foods department. Taste the Mediterranean now at Whole Foods Market.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
Right. What about like Agatha Christie? Are you into her books?
Yeah, I read like most of them when I was a kid. Yeah. I mean, she was really my first foray into mystery novels.
And what's her character's name, the one that everybody loves?
Hercule Poirot.
Okay, but didn't she write another one?
Yeah, there's Miss Marple.
Miss Marple.
So I prefer Poirot.
Why? Because I don't know too much about Miss Marple, other than I've seen like they did a British sort of thing, and it's an elderly lady, right?
Yes,
with
an elderly lady,
twisted lip or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, Poirot.
He's the Belgian
detective who comes to England to escape the war and ends up staying there and solving all these capers. But I find it interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think Poirot, again, it kind of like Holmes has like, there's similarities in terms of like their analysis and their using their brain to kind of figure things out and figuring out the psychology of people. And again, same thing with Poirot. You don't really, as a reader, you're not going to guess what happens at the end.
Okay.
So what I like about Agatha,
like that, and you do like that aspect that, like, you know, it's kind of unsolvable for the average person, and you have to discover it through the character's eyes.
Yeah, and like what I like about Agatha Christie is that she kind of puts suspicion on everyone.
Okay.
So every character that she sets up, she kind of sets up to have some sort of suspicious component to it. So as a reader, you're always like, oh, maybe it's this person for this reason. So I like that. But yeah, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, we had to read it in grade 7 or 8 or something for English class, and I just loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because you had mentioned this on a previous episode. Do you think your love for these kind of mystery, would you call them mysteries, or
mystery
detective
novel? Detective novel
comes from the fact that you liked reading those Tintin books when you were a kid? Because don't they have
a little bit of a similar
mysterious aspect to it?
They do have a mysterious aspect to it. It's way more of an adventure comic, I would say. Sure. Not like a Marvel or a DC or something like that, but like they're more.
They're not. Are they solving mysteries? Or?
They're not in the same way, but often they're on a quest. Usually, they're quest novels, but they're also very story driven and character driven. So it's interesting. No, I think also my mom used to read like mysteries, and I just always I love watching mystery shows.
Really?
Oh yeah, I love like old. So British miniseries that are like mystery series. Like
Sure.
they did a whole Poirot. They did like
Right.
Foyle's War, Midsummer Murders, all those British TV shows. They're all like an hour and a half, the
Right.
episodes. And so you get really into them. So
Sure.
I enjoy that. So I guess those are my favorite
Okay.
type of series novels.
What was
etc.
the last page-turner detective novel that you read that you can remember? Was there one where you were like, I can't put this down, or like, I can't turn the pages fast enough? Like,
You know what? Like, I'll be honest. When I first, like, when Dan Brown's first novel, when the Da Vinci Code first came out,
Right.
I totally page turned that.
Okay.
Because it was unique at that time, and it was an interesting concept.
Sure.
And then the last books that I did that with was with the Harry Potter ones, which
Sure.
also have like a mystery component to them.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one that I read was the Robert Galbraith one, which wasn't a page turner in the traditional sense,
Sure.
but I was very invested in reading
Okay.
more. But it wasn't like, okay, but I knew when to stop, you know?
Right.
So,
Fair. What about now? I could be totally wrong here, and I'm sure you'll correct. Nora Roberts, does she write detective?
No, she's like a romance
Okay.
novel.
Isn't there? Who's the one who writes these books that are like, A is for alibi, B is for
Oh,
bod?
Sue Grafton.
Yeah. Is hers detective-y? Like, you can tell.
You know what? I've never read any
you
of her
can
books.
totally tell that I am not into this genre of
At
books.
all.
No, I can appreciate it. Like, I'll watch it if it's made into a movie, but I don't think I would want to necessarily sit down and read it unless someone like yourself would say to me, "Read this, you'll really enjoy it." I did enjoy the Da Vinci Code, but I listened to it on audio. I prefer audiobooks.
really, eh?
Yeah, when I if it's not a book that I don't even know how to describe it. There's certain books I like to read with my eyes, and there's other books I like to listen with my ear.
That's funny because just to go back to our initial conversation about electronics, for me, I need to physically hold a book. So I'm not good with the Kindle or those type of electronic reading devices.
Sure. Do you have one, or have you used?
I've used one before, like a friend's, and there's something very pleasurable about actually holding the book itself.
Sure.
And audiobooks, it's funny because I can listen to like talk series on audio, like in the car or something like that. But a book, I like to take
have a tactile sort of encounter with the book, or like a
and I like to be immersed in that world, right? So like my imagination goes with the book, right? Because I'm like sort of playing it out in my head in a way. And so we can't do that with an audiobook if you're driving or something like that.
Where's your preferred place to read a book? And I can't believe we haven't talked about books.
I know.
We'll have to do another episode where we just talk about books. But yeah, so your preference is in bed.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever read a detective or a mystery novel that scared you? And
Oh, good question. Not in the last little while.
Okay.
No, not that I can remember. What's your favorite genre of book?
So I love these sort of new age self-help books.
Those are great.
Yeah. Currently reading one called Big Magic by what's her name? She wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Do you know that person? Elizabeth.
Oh, I don't remember her name.
I haven't been reading it for the last 2 weeks. You'd think I'd remember. Anyways, her book, and I'm really enjoying it. I want to say Elizabeth Gilbert, but I'm not sure.
What's the name again?
Big Magic.
Okay.
And that was gifted to me, and I don't think I would have bought it. So let me ask you this, Nidhi. Are you a person who judges a book by its cover? Because I most certainly am. And I would never have bought this book because of the cover of it.
So, yes, Elizabeth Gilbert.
Okay, there you
go. That's a good question. So if I'm in a bookstore,
sure,
yeah, I'll probably judge it by the cover.
Okay.
And by like what's written in the back.
Okay.
But if I do. I want to say that I don't, but I do.
Fair. So
unless it's a recommendation or something.
So I never would have bought this book because of its cover. It just doesn't speak to me. Plus, I'll be honest with you, not a big fan of what's her name, Elizabeth Gilbert. But I'm really enjoying this book.
Really?
I'm really enjoying this book.
What's it about?
It's about creativity and...
Oh, so it's not like a fiction novel.
It's not a fiction novel. It's about, like, you know, her process of writing and being creative and whatnot. And I'm totally... Even though I don't particularly like the author, I really like this book. And it was gifted, and it was and turned out to be a great gift. So I got the membership to the art gallery. I really enjoyed that. I got this book. I really enjoyed it. But I also like biographies. I like listening to biographies.
Okay.
I don't like to read biographies.
Yeah. I could see biographies being a good thing to listen to.
In particular, if the person who wrote their biography is reading, I really enjoy that. I loved the Harry Potter books.
Yes.
Loved.
Number one.
Just loved it. And
so are you going to read those to your niece when she's old enough?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought of that. Maybe. I don't know. I never thought about that. I did read a book by an author called, a Canadian author named Anne-Marie MacDonald. Are you familiar? Mm-hmm. And here's one thing, Nidhi. I don't like to read big books.
Right.
So if it's a, 700-page book, don't even bother giving it to me.
I think we need, on our next podcast, we should really talk about, or in a future upcoming podcast, talk about authors that everyone raves about that you just never want to read.
Right.
And are a little bit ashamed because you feel like you're going to be shamed into having to read them. Yeah,
because everybody talks about Moby Dick. And a canon, what's his name? I can't remember who wrote it.
Yeah. So mine, and this is sacrilegious for a Canadian, Margaret Atwood. I have no interest in reading Margaret Atwood.
I have an awesome Margaret Atwood story. But unfortunately,
we're out of time for
so
this.
We'll have to remember that. I will say this, she's really awesome. Like when you meet her.
Oh, I've met her before, and she's like the most amazing kooky aunt that anyone will ever have in their life. She's
really cool.
Yeah.
She's a really cool person. Like, I'm talking about, those quintessential people that when you meet them, you're like, you're cool.
Yeah,
you're
and I'm never going to be that cool.
And I think I'm approaching that coolness, but she's one of those people, thanks, dude, who's just cool. And I've read some of her short stuff. Clearly, the woman is a brilliant writer.
Oh, I think she's incredibly intelligent.
But you haven't read her book. Fair enough.
But there's nothing that motivates me to want to read her books.
Right. But if I said, hey, I'm having dinner with Margaret Atwood, would you like to come?
Yeah, I'd be there.
There you go.
I'd be there, and I'd pretend that I knew all about her books.
We should get Margaret Atwood.
To do a podcast
with us. I bet we could make that happen.
We probably could.
Well, there you go. Stay tuned to see if we have a podcast with Margaret Atwood. Till then, thank you so much for listening to this episode.
As always, we're produced by Drumcast Productions and have been recording in Toronto, Canada. And until the next time, we hope that you listen and sleep.